Hey y'all, just gonna wait for some people to hop on as usual. We are in the Womb Portal series, day 4. Talking about Hekau, which in Kemet means words of power. Got orange pants on today. So we're just gonna wait for some people to hop on, for Instagram to tell people I'm live. But as I've been saying in all my videos, I trust that the right people will see this at the right time. The most divine ears will hear this at the most divine appointed time for them. So whether anybody is live during this video or not, I still will be speaking as if people are, and you will be able to refer to this video whenever you need it. Need to get some sage up in here. All right, so I'm just going to start diving in. I trust that people will hop on when they need, or that they'll see this at the time that is meant for them to see it. So, Hekau, words of power. So, I made this topic a part of the Womb Portal series because Hekau is so important. So if you don't know, in Kemet, or what they now call modern day Egypt, Hekau means words of power. So hold on, I'm gonna have to, because it was getting a little, anyway. Hekau, words of power. So the reason I included Hekau into the Womb Portal series is because it's actually a very important, integral part of womb healing. And some people might be like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yes, it is. Because the words that you speak to yourself and the words that you speak of others, to others, over others, has an effect. It has an effect on you. It has an effect on others, right? And this kind of goes into the topic of bullying, right? Like, I know I was bullied when I was younger. Like, I used to have my afro out when I was a kid, and a lot of people used to make fun of me and say that I looked like a man and that I was ugly with my natural hair. And so I really took that on. And I know there's that saying that goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's such a lie. Like, I was taught that as a child for so long, but that's such a lie, because words do hurt. What you say to other people, your words have the power to heal and transform, or they have the power to damage and cut and destroy, right? And the vocal cords are connected directly to the womb, right? So if you're speaking illness over your womb, that's exactly what you're creating. If you're speaking from a place of, I always have horrible menstrual cycles, I'm always bleeding so much, I always have menstrual cramps and pain, I don't like my menstrual cycle, I don't like my womb, I'm always in pain. If you're constantly speaking that, your words are power. Your words are a prayer. Your words are a declaration. So if you're speaking that over your womb, then that's exactly what you're going to see. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are just like, oh, you know, words of power don't mean anything, or affirmations don't mean anything, or speaking doesn't really create your reality. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because I'll let you know right now that your brain does not know the difference between the memory of an experience and the actual experience of you having it. So when you're constantly telling yourself all these things, right, in your head, and so I'll give an example of me, right? So the way that I used to cause myself harm with my Hekau was I would talk down on myself every single day. I would be like, I'm not smart enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not confident enough. I'm not outgoing enough. Like, I would say all these things, or I'm not good enough, right? That was the biggest lie I've ever told myself. And so I'd repeat these things and declarations inside of my head, and wonder why I feel the way that I do, wonder why I felt like I was never enough, wondered why I was always treated that way, right? Or wondered why I had horrible menstrual cycles, because I was constantly speaking that over my life. When you speak something, that's like a prayer, right? And so are you going to pray for dis-ease, or are you going to pray for health and vitality, right? So again, Hekau, words of power, right? Speaking words of power into your womb, speaking words of power over your life, over your heart, over your mind, over your body, over your relationships, right? And I feel like this is the most important in terms of how we speak to ourselves, right? Like, we can repeat 30,000 affirmations a day and it won't change anything if you don't actually even mean it. You can't just repeat something repetitively like a parrot, right? It's not going to sink in. You have to actually put energy into your Hekau. You have to put emotion and feeling behind it. And you have to declare, right? You have to declare as if you already are that. There is no I hope to be, I want to be, I inspire or dream to be, right? It's I am. I already am, right? So I'm not going to go and make affirmations and say, I hope to be confident in myself one day. No, I'm going to say, I am confident in myself every single day, right? Your Hekau matters, because how you ultimately speak to yourself is how you speak of and to others. And then you're constantly reflecting those types of people and circumstances and relationships in your life that are how you speak to yourself, right? How do you talk to yourself on a daily, right? Like, not just when people are looking, not when you're around a group of people, but when you go to bed at night or when you wake up, how are you speaking to yourself? How are you speaking to your heart? How are you speaking to your womb, right? So this is why I really wanted to talk about Hekau, because it's really, really, really a powerful and beautiful thing to, like, for me, right? Like, Hekau isn't just what you speak, right? It's what you sing. It's what you pray. Right? It's your thoughts in your mind. It's your divine speech, right? So for me, the way that I channel my Hekau is through song, through music, through poetry, through writing, through speaking. I love speaking to people and engaging and having conversations. And so my Hekau, how I speak to myself every single day, how I speak of others every day, I need to be aware and conscious of, right? And if I'm not, then I'm just allowing anyone to say what they want to me. I'm allowing myself to feed my mind with thoughts that are not of power and words that are not of power. And like I said before, earlier in the live, like, we always hear this saying of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I don't know if y'all heard that when y'all was a kid, but I did, right? And I was like raised on that, like, words will never hurt you. And it's such a lie, because words, like I said before, words have the power to transform and heal, or they have the power to cut and destroy. And so are you destroying yourself? Are you destroying and damaging yourself? And are you speaking illness and disease over yourself and over your womb and over your life? Or are you speaking empowerment and inspiration and blessings, right? So Hekau, words of power, really the main message of this live is just to share with everyone, like, what is your version of Hekau? What is your words of power? Whether that's affirmations, whether it's singing, whether it's journaling, whatever it is, like, for you, just make sure that it's words of power, because this is why we constantly have disease in the womb, right? And why we have menstrual cramps and menstrual pain, because we're constantly claiming that. I'm going to get my cycle in 2 days and I already know I'm going to cramp. Sorry, I actually can't come because I know I'm going to get horrible menstrual cramps. You're speaking that over your life. You're literally speaking that over your life, right? Words of power, Hekau, is so important, because what you speak becomes your reality. What you think becomes your reality. What you feel becomes your reality. So if you're constantly telling yourself, I have a horrible menstrual cycle, and you're repeating that story over and over to people again, you're never breaking the glass ceiling. You're staying stuck in this little box, and it's just hitting up and down like this, right? Versus breaking past the glass ceiling and claiming with your divine speech, with your divine power, with your Hekau, with your words of power, claiming blessings and healing over your womb and over your life, right? So this was a thing I had to get out of. I used to always say, oh, I'm going to throw up on my menstrual cycle again. I'm going to have horrible cramps. I'm going to bleed for 7+ days. To now, actually, I don't cramp anymore. I'm so grateful that I'm no longer cramping. Like, actually, I don't have disease in my womb. I'm so grateful to have a healthy and optimal womb. Actually, I'm really grateful that I have this deep connection with my womb and allowing myself to sit in the feeling of what it feels like to be in such deep resonance with my womb. No more saying, I affirm that my womb will be healthy and whole. Because will be is still a future tense, right? You're still saying in the future, I will have a healthy womb. And so your reality doesn't know the difference of that. Your reality is going to keep pushing it further and further to the future versus claiming right now in this moment, my womb is whole, my womb is healed, my womb is healthy, my womb is vital. I have an amazing menstrual cycle where I don't cramp, like versus speaking that over your womb, right? And feeling the emotion in your body take place, right? So again, Hekau, words of power, so important, right? It's why I've been creating the Womb Portal series and why I'm getting on here speaking to you guys every single day, because I know the power of the voice. I know the power of the word. I know the power of declaration. I know the power of my voice, right? And I know what happens when I speak my truth. I know what happens when I share my truth, right? And so I'm only sharing this with you as to inspire you. Like, what is your Hekau? What is your version of words of power, right? And how are you speaking to yourself? What are you saying to yourself on a day-to-day process, right? Like mentally. Because that was a big thing that I struggled with. I was constantly speaking down on myself, telling myself I'm not as good as the next woman, and comparing and self-shaming and self-judgment, all these different things. And that really didn't make me feel good, right? Like that only made me feel worse. So, and how did I learn to speak that way to myself? Through bullying, right? When I was bullied as a child, through the childhood trauma I grew up, the way I saw my parents speak to each other, speak of each other, the way they spoke to me. And I just took that on as if it was normal, right? And so I used to go from speaking so horribly to myself and creating all these cycles in my life that I was so unhappy with and feeling so insecure and, you know, unable to do anything, not feeling good enough, to knowing my divine worth, to knowing the power of my truth, right? And sometimes a lot of people will try to shut down your truth, right? Like this happened with my mother. She tried to silence my truth for years when I was telling her I was being abused and told me that I was lying. And as an 8-year-old, the way that you process that is when I tell the truth, it actually means I'm lying. So I shouldn't tell the truth anymore, right? And that does a lot of damage psychologically. But there's a lot of people that will be out here that will try to get you to be quiet, silence your voice. And it took me so long to be like, honestly, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm going to speak my truth no matter what. Because I know that it resonates with me. I know it's going to resonate with other people. And I'm not afraid of speaking my truth anymore because I know that it's real, right? This is my truth. This is what happened to me. I experienced this, right? And this even goes for like the spiritual community too. Like a lot of you guys know this. Like in the spiritual community, there's a lot of people saying, you know, do this and do that. And you can't feel the truth. You can't feel the resonance in certain things, right? Because we're all just sometimes trying to copy other people's things, but we're not really grounded in the embodiment of the truth of what we're even sharing, right? And so the only reason I created this Womb Portal series live for you guys was simply because I know that every single topic that I'm about to share with you guys is going to be from deep experience, right? Deep wisdom, deep embodiment, right? I'm not going to share anything with anybody that doesn't resonate with me as truth, or if I haven't experienced it as my own personal truth, right? So again, this is like all just goes into Hekau and words of power. And, you know, we grew up with our parents speaking horrible things over us, right? And so we took that on. And so we started speaking that way to ourselves internally. And I'm just here to let you know that you don't got to keep carrying those conversations, right? You don't need to carry those conversations anymore inside of your head, how you're talking to yourself or what you think of other people, right? Or how you speak ill over other people, because if you're speaking ill of other people, you're only bringing that energy right back to yourself. Now, I want to clarify the difference between speaking and gossiping, speaking ill of somebody and gossiping versus speaking your truth. Gossiping, example. Man, I really don't like this girl. Girl, did I tell you what she did the other day? She was doing X, Y, and Z, right? That's more of a gossiping. But if you're speaking truth, hey, I want to share something with you. I had this experience with this person and I really felt like they were disrespecting me and this didn't feel good. And I really think I need to speak up and say something. That's you speaking divine truth. You're not gossiping when you do that, right? And so sometimes we like to get caught up or confused with, gossip and speaking the divine truth, right? But speaking your divine truth, people will feel that. People will resonate with it, right? But wasting your energy and your breath on gossiping about other men, other women, other people, other situations, or even just speaking of things that have nothing to do with your reality, consuming information that has nothing to do with your reality, right? Like, there's no reason to do that, right? So we can gossip all we want and talk about people, but that energy comes back to us tenfold, right? So you want to be conscious and mindful of what's coming out of your mouth, how you're speaking to others, how you're speaking to yourself. Hey, Maya. How you're speaking to other people, right? Hekau, words of power. And so like, I knew like for me growing up as a kid, like, my parents would say all kind of things to me. And so I internalized this dialogue and started being hard on myself, started treating myself like I wasn't enough or I wasn't worth it or I was an idiot. I was stupid. You know what I mean? Like, hey mom, hey auntie. Like it's all just, it's crazy because I grew up believing that I was a liar whenever I spoke my truth because of what my mom did, right? And so I took that internal dialogue and told myself, whenever you speak the truth, Nay, you're a liar. Nobody believes you. Nah, that's false. That's false. That's false. I'm like, no. Okay. So again, Hekau, words of power, how you speak to yourself, how you speak of others, right? If you're speaking ill of other people, if you are condemning other people, if you are gossiping about other people, that energy comes back to you, sis. It comes back to you, right? And it goes the same way with womb healing. If you're speaking illness and disease and pain over your womb, you are creating that reality, right? So we want to fill our consciousness with Hekau, with words of empowerment. We want to listen to music and read, books or resources that are filling our consciousness with words of power, not scaring us and bringing us into more fear and jealousy and competition and lack. Right? We want to listen and consume information that is uplifting, inspiring, and empowering us every single day. What you put when you, the first hour that you wake up in your day, the first thing that you put into your subconscious mind, that first hour that you wake up is going to ripple effect into the rest of your day. So if you wake up and first thing you do is get on your phone and you're listening to people, talking about drama and gossip, you're creating that ripple effect in your day versus if you get up and the first thing that you do is go look in the mirror and say, I love myself, you're creating that ripple effect for your day, right? So this was like a really hard challenge for me to get because I always felt like I needed to speak. Like I got a lot of fire when I speak, but I used to be so afraid of my truth. I used to fear that other people would fear my truth or that people would try to silence me, right? People would try to silence me, but it took a long time to go from that and from shaming myself, from feeling insecure about myself to, all right, I know my truth. I know my power. I know who I am. And I speak only Hekau because I don't have time to consume my energy over people that are not worth it, right? I don't have time to sit here and gossip about him and her and he said, she said. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. How much mental energy is that taking from me just to say that? What level do I have to drop to just to be at that level, at that person, and to be at the consciousness that they're at, right? Versus who do I have to become to rise and surpass them, right? So again, like I said, Hekau, words of power, being so conscious of what you speak, how you speak it, who you're speaking it to, and how you do that for yourself internally in your womb, right? This was a huge part of my womb healing journey, was my words of power. because that is the biggest battle you will have, is how you talk to yourself. It's not how other people treat you or how they talk to you. It's how you talk to yourself, how you view yourself, how you think of yourself, right? And so you got to start to fill yourself with positive things, with empowerment, with inspiration, with truth, right? You got to start filling your mind with only things that are going to help you heal, transform, grow, and produce more of that, right? Not that are going to keep you small or retract you or keep you in a phase of gossiping. Like that's low vibrational energy, sis. It's low vibrational energy and you don't need it. Rise above that. So again, words of power, Hekau, right? And I hope you guys enjoyed this live. This one was definitely more of a quicker live today. There was a lot of fire in this one because this one was a big one for me. Hekau was like a very big lesson for me because I kept speaking ill over my life and I watched so many people do it and I took on those habits. And then I wondered why my life looked the way that it looked, right? Or why I was in so much pain with my womb healing journey. So making sure that you really speak life into your womb, like that really works. Like when you say that you hate your womb or you hate your menstrual cycle, that energy is reflected back to you. It's reflected back to you. Your womb is highly intelligent. Your body is highly intelligent. And so if you're speaking illness over your body's going to respond to those vibrations. Words carry energy. Energy carries vibration. Vibration is created into your reality, right? So anyway, that's it for this live today, the Womb Portal series, right, of Hekau and Words of Power. So I hope you guys really enjoyed. Like I said, the right people that need to hear this message will hop on at the time, or the right people that need to see it will see it in divine timing. This will be uploaded onto my business page, Mother Womb Codes, and on my YouTube channel as well. And you can find both of those at the link in my bio. And I love you guys so, so much. Go speak some words of power into yourself today. Give yourself that nourishment and that love and that empowerment and that upliftment and that inspiration that you so rightfully deserve. Speak words of power over your life. Declare it and claim it. Speak words of power over your womb. Okay? So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and comment. And don't forget to sign up for my womb webinar on February 22nd. You just subscribe to my email list and you will get the Zoom link to be in the webinar with me and some other powerful, amazing women. All right, I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful day.